What's up, guys? It's the Essential John L. Crossfire.
And I am Nova Lee.
And you guys are tuned into Caught
in Conversation.
Shaka-laka-laka. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 146, ECDub Unearthed. As always, I am your host, the Essential John L. Crossfire, and unfortunately, that's the best title that I could think of for this episode. And now, for the first time in over 2 years, last week I did the first, well, not the first ever solo episode, but the first one in 2 years. What are words? Because we were just so busy with, Christmas and New Year and everything else that I just needed to throw something at the wall and see if it'd stick, and had so many damn technical issues in that one. Turns out that my version of Audacity was literally like 10 versions behind the current one, so I've updated it, so hopefully no problems with this episode and future episodes going forward. That's me knocking on wood. But this week, Nova has fallen under the weather. She's having a bit of a health flare-up, so I'm doing another solo episode again. And this week, I've kind of taken the easy way in a lot of ways, but I'm going to be doing a watch-along of the newly unvaulted, or I don't even know if that's a word. I'm pretty sure it is a word, but it actually means something different. But the vault has been opened. The WWE Vault YouTube channel have blessed us with this lost, and that's how they've titled it, the Lost ECW Arena Show in Philadelphia, from June 24th, 2006. And I've heard nothing about this other than apparently the crowd was surprisingly dead, given that they were in Philadelphia, which is usually a loud and rowdy, hot wrestling town. And this show can be found on the YouTube channel that I just mentioned, WWE Vault. I don't know if it's the entire show or what, because the whole video goes for 55 minutes. So I could have done just the episode watch along and it would have been a full episode. But instead, I've kind of upped the ante. I've got some questions and stuff to answer first. But before I do any of that, the song of the week this week is Even Flow by Pearl Jam. And the reason I've picked that is multiple reasons. One, ECW original Raven, his finishing move was the Even Flow DDT before he was in WWF, and they changed it to the Raven effect for copyright issues. But Even Flow was named after this Pearl Jam song here. Obviously, Raven, when you think original ECW, Raven, for me at least, is one of the core guys that I think of first. And I truly believe that although he was never as big of a star as some people, I would put his mic skills and promo skills up there with the likes of The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin and Hulk Hogan and John Cena. Like his all-time great, his top 5 at least of all-time promos, in my opinion, is Raven. And also on top of that, there's an independent wrestler in the US who is now going by the name of Steven Flow, and he has a quite quirky, cool little parody of the song, which obviously, Steven Flow, obviously, even flow, you get it. But obviously he ups the ante a bit more, because pretty much every lyric is just the name Steven, which is absolutely just brilliant. It's so simple but so effective. But yeah, that's why I've picked this song for the song of the week this week, Even Flow by Pearl Jam. Your match of the week this week, Rob Van Dam, RVD versus Jerry Lynn, ECW Hardcore Heaven 1999. I believe this was for the ECW Television Championship. And this match as well, in itself, was also just uploaded just a little bit over a week ago as I record this episode to that same YouTube channel as this show that we're about to watch along, being the WWE Vault. So thank you, WWE Vault. There's a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of ECW stuff on here for the hardcore fans, pun not intended, because ECW obviously was a hardcore organization. But they've also just uploaded it in the last few days as I record this as well. There's a really cool behind-the-scenes video of old 90s ECW from behind-the-scenes stuff with the wrestlers, mixed with behind-the-scenes stuff of the fans from ECW One Night Stand 2005, and I think 2006 as well. I could be mistaken there, but at least 2005, where they've got interviews with the fans before and after the show. And then, yeah, there's all this stuff mixed in. It kind of time skips a little bit. It's a 17-ish minute video, but there's some great stuff in there. And you also see a very rare public appearance of an out of character, ravishing Rick Rude, who obviously did spend a little bit of time in ECW in the late 90s. So that's pretty cool. When I say, rest in peace, Rick Rude, he's one of my idols, as people that know me personally know. But yeah, very rare time you get to see him out of character. But you also see there's a Cactus Jack promo where you literally see the switch of they count him down, 3, 2, 1, and you see Mick Foley transform at the drop of a hat into Cactus Jack. I'm here to inflict pain. And usually, obviously, Mick Foley, an absolute sweetheart. I mean, one of the nicest wrestlers that I've ever personally met myself. But yeah, it's just a really cool video, so go check that out. And obviously, in no form or fashion am I at all affiliated with, ECW of the Extreme Championship kind. Obviously, Extreme Capital is another story. But Extreme Championship Wrestling, I have no affiliation with, obviously, or the WWE Vault channel. There's no sponsorship or no nothing, but hey, if someone from the WWE Vault hears this, hook a brother up. But no, this is just me being a mark, because as we like to say, it's rant and review and it's marking out. It's for the marks, by the marks. And yeah, I just want to watch this show and have a good time, basically. But before I get into the question portion, I do want to do another shameless self-promotion. Although we're talking about hardcore wrestling, I would like to take a moment to talk about my children's book, Alphabet Smackdown Call of the Wild. I'm currently working very hard on book number 2, which I'll give you an exclusive here on this episode. It is called War on the Water, because it's aquatic animal themed. But the digital version of Call of the Wild is available exclusively at the moment on the Patreon page for tier 2 and up. So that's just $10 Australian, $6 US. Pretty affordable, if I do say. I feel like the price of that is very fair. The audio version will be coming soon, and that will be for $15 Australian and up, because obviously the tiers grow. So if you do the $15, you'll get the digital version as well, and then just the audio version thrown on top for the extra $5. So makes sense to me. But yeah, $10 and up for Australian, $6 and up US. Tier 2, the essential tier, you get immediate access to the Call of the Wild PDF, which is a 30-plus page file. It's relatively fresh on the feed. It's one of the most recent things on the feed, but obviously as time goes on, if you do sub, you can just hit me up and I can give you the link and yada, yada, yada. But yeah, please go check that out if you guys get a chance. That would be greatly appreciated. But with that being said, let's just jump straight into these questions here, because I've got a lot of stuff here. I kind of jotted down some of my answers loosely, like as bullet points, just so that I didn't forget and be on the spot and rant more than I needed to. And as a result, I've kind of written a bit of a rant to some of these, especially when it comes to matches and et cetera, et cetera. But the first question he's got 3 questions actually. They come from the one and only Mighty Kai. So even though he's not on this episode, he's still finding a way to hijack it, so to speak. But the first one is very simple. Is Taz or Sabu? And now, nothing but love for Sabu here, but without a doubt, it's Taz. Very simple, straight to the point. It's just because very simple, and I'll justify it as well, because obviously Sabu, the homicidal, genocidal, suicidal, death-defying Sabu, his style, car crash style, absolutely phenomenal, ahead of its time. The prime example, and possibly the guy who's put the most into the business without getting anything in return, so to speak. But Taz, when you look at the evolution of Taz, going all the way from being the Tasmaniac all the way up to the human suplex machine and what he ended up transforming into, and obviously that, you got to give huge props to Paul Heyman for his amazing genius booking of him as well. But honestly, Taz, pun not intended, human suplex machine, but Taz honestly was an absolute machine, and is one of my personal favorites regardless when it comes to the original ECW. The next question is, who had the best entrance? Again, also from Mighty Kai, he sent in 3. Kai himself said he picks the Sandman, and if we're talking one-offs or just one entrance, I'll say that in terms of ECW, then yes, Sandman's entrance at the ECW One Night Stand in 2005 when he came out to Metallica and WWE got the rights to it just for one night only, which is so annoying. I'm hoping that if Netflix eventually, like with this WWE stuff, if they do eventually upload the ECW stuff, I'm hoping that because Netflix have that cashola, they can restore some of those dubbed over theme songs, because having that entrance on a worldwide platform for everyone to see would be absolutely amazing. But if we're just talking just in general, I'm gonna have to say Raven. And obviously I just talked a bit about Raven before with the Song of the Week, but Raven's presence was always just so phenomenal. And like, he didn't have to do anything fancy. He kind of come out and he had the eyeliner and he had the plaid and he was just all grungy, but just the energy and, dare I say, Bret Hart style charisma. Because although I'm not the biggest fan of Bret Hart, as many people know, he has a certain different type of charisma where he's not loud and shouting and, waving his arms around like a lunatic, like, say, The Rock or Stone Cold. But he just has this cool factor, and that's something that Raven had to a T. It still has to a T. So for me, if we're saying greatest entrance in ECW, if it's a one-off, sure, I'll say the Sandman, especially that 2005 One Night Stand entrance. But that presence of Raven, especially when he came out with the flock in the ECW version. Obviously they did it in WCW as well, but the Raven flock, I can't even remember if that was what it was called, the Raven's Nest. I can't remember. Anyway, Raven's group in ECW, I swear it was just called the Flock as well. Someone will yell at me and correct me if I'm wrong, but just that cult-like thing that he had going on, almost Charles Manson-esque with how creepy he was in leading the people. And that's probably, that's a deep reference, but honestly, I'm sure Raven took many inspiration from that. But yeah, Raven's the answer. Favorite ECW World Champion of all time? Gonna go back. It's either going to be Taz, or if not Taz, it's going to be the Human Suplex Machine. Taz is the Human Suplex Machine, the War Machine, the Man Beast, the War Beast, Rhino. Either Taz or Rhino for me. And that brings an end to Mighty Kai's questions. Moving on, we have Ace Shack saying, favorite ECW match of all time? Both original ECW and WWE ECW. Now, I do apologize, Ace. There's no way I can just pick one or two. Like, I will, at the end of this rant, you're going to get one or two, but I can't just justify one or two. So, there's so many good ones, and some of them are popular, and rightfully so. If something's good, it's good. But there's also so many hidden gems for so many different reasons across the different eras and times of ECW. But that entire very first official pay-per-view, Barely Legal, in I think it was 97? 97, 98. That was 97. I'm going to say 97. I'm going to stick to that. But that entire Barely Legal card was stacked from top to bottom. There's a few matches in general on that show that stand out as favorites for me. You got Rob Van Dam versus Lance Storm, Taz versus Sabu, funnily enough, given Kai's question a moment ago of Taz or Sabu. And then there's the three-way dance between Terry Funk, Sandman, and Stevie Richards that then leads into Terry Funk defeating Raven straight after to become the new ECW champion, with a very emotional Tommy Dreamer on commentary, does the run-in, helps Terry win the match. Taz and Bam Bam always made me smile. They had a couple of matches, couple of singles, couple of tags. Obviously, they went through the ring, they went through the stage, but their matches were absolutely wars, and they always they genuinely just put a smile on my face, because it's such good shit, like, unironically, such good shit, pal. Like, it really is such good stuff anytime you see Taz and Bam Bam in the same setting. Just about anything that Steve Corino touched, especially Living Dangerously, 99, 2000. I think it was 2000. I'm going to say 2000. It might have been 99, but I think it was 2000. Against Dusty Rhodes, and I think that was the Bull Rope match. They had a few different Bull Rope matches and stuff in territories and stuff, and took it on tour, but I'm pretty sure that was the Bull Rope match. I could be wrong, but I remember it definitely was Living Dangerously, Dusty Rhodes, Steve Corino, and a lot of people have kind of shat on this match, and I get it, because, it's mainly just punch thing. Dusty does, the elbow spam, but I feel like they tell a great story, and they brawl through the crowd a little, and I have a soft spot for the Dusty Rhodes Steve Corino feud in general, and just Steve Corino in general, but really like that one. The 2 out of 3 falls match between Eddie Guerrero and Dean Malenko. That obviously, for many, many different reasons, it stands out to me. There's a Mexican death match between Rey Mysterio and Psychosis that I've watched far too many times, and it's actually been a match of the week previously here on the podcast. Anything with, Chris Candido, franchise, Shane Douglas, the Pitbulls, especially Pitbull number 2, Too Cold Scorpio, anything he did in ECW was just insane because his high flying was just ahead of its time. And then there's the entire Masato Tanaka feud versus Mike Awesome, their series of matches, especially that Heatwave 98 match, which that's an entire ripper of a show. RVD and Jerry Lynn always had classics, which is why I had to throw that out for the match of the week just moments ago. But if I had to pick just one, I've got to go back to that Malenko-Guerrero match. And obviously they had good matches no matter where they went. I think they had a couple of matches in ECW as well. But the 2 out of 3 falls match, I remember specifically where everything surrounding it, they went from being damn near being booed out of the building at the start of the match to then getting a standing ovation at the end of the match, just because, people were saying they sold out because they were going to WCW, and then by the end of the match, they were chanting, "Please don't go," basically, and all this stuff. And it was literally, there's a couple of high-impact moves, but this entire match is almost just pure chain technical wrestling, and then it goes to a time limit draw, which is just awesome. I'm pretty sure that was the 2 out of 3 falls match that went to the time limit draw. I could be getting my matches mixed up because, again, these guys had many, many banger matches, but it was the one that went to a time limit is the one I'm talking about, and then they had the standing ovation before they left ECW for WCW. So if I've got that mixed up, then I apologize, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And then there's another one that stands out, and it's not like the best match ever, but like Shane Douglas versus Pitbull number 2 versus Too Cold Scorpio versus Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho actually defending the ECW World Championship in this match. Ultimately, Shane Douglas pulls out the win at Heatwave 1996. And it's crazy to think that this was just a super show of sorts. It wasn't actually a pay-per-view because, as I said, 97 for Barely Legal was the first proper pay-per-view. But anyway, this match has so much going on. Jericho actually eliminated first, which guaranteed new champion, which is kind of cool. And then there's a spot towards the end where Francine gets driven through a table by the Pitbulls, and kudos to her for taking that insane bump. And as a side note as well, Shane Douglas and Pitbull number 2 did have a great match at that Barely Legal show as well. And for some reason, both these guys, they weren't a fan of what they put together. And Shane Douglas has talked on his podcast about how it just didn't flow and it fell apart and this or that. And he's like, but when I watched it back, it was better than I thought it'd be, but just something was missing and da-da-da-da. But I genuinely really enjoyed that one as well. It's actually one of the first appearances by Rick Rude in that Barely Legal match. The end of it, spoiler alert. But I mean, it was 1997, so if you haven't seen it by now, what are you doing? But yeah, if I had to pick just one or just two from the OG era after that rant, I'm going to say Guerrero versus Malenko. I'm pretty sure it was the 2 out of 3 falls match, but it's the one that ends in the time limit before they went to WCW regardless. And then, yeah, the four-way dance, not the fatal four-way, the four-way dance between Shane Douglas, Pitbull number 2, Too Cold Scorpio, Chris Jericho, Heatwave 96. In terms of the WWE version of ECW, I know a lot of people crap on that era, but there was a lot of really good matches that did come out of that era. And I feel like if it had have had any other initials other than ECW, I feel like it truly would have succeeded at something different. That's just my opinion personally. But yeah, obviously you got to start off strong. And obviously One Night Stand 2005 was a whole different beast. I've actually had Dudley's versus Sandman and Tommy Dreamer as match of the week from that ECW One Night Stand 05 show. And I'm pretty sure I did one of the Tanaka Awesome matches where they had the rematch from, many, many years before that. They had a banger in 2005 as well. I'm pretty sure that's been a match of the week as well. But 2005 One Night Stand was great. But kicking it off, 2005 2006 rather, One Night Stand, when they did the official rebirth of ECW, and the main event was John Cena versus Rob Van Dam. That's another one that's been rewatched many, many times, both by myself and Nova. There's Big Show versus Sabu, also 2006. SummerSlam 2006 was actually a really good match, especially for a pay-per-view. They made it believe that Sabu could have actually toppled the Giant, and obviously as an ECW original, everyone was strongly behind Sabu to pull out the win, but it just wasn't to be. You fast forward, 2009 TLC, Christian versus Shelton Benjamin in a ladder match. It was kind of a token, oh, this is a ladder match because it fits into the pay-per-view, but those guys absolutely made it work. Oh, I gotta take a swig of water because I'm already getting dry mouth. I'm getting all worked up and excited thinking about these matches. I could have just pressed pause to edit it in post, but screw it, I'm gonna leave that in. Great match between Christian and Shelton Benjamin in that ladder match at TLC 2009. And then there was a match between CM Punk and Elijah Burke, and off the top of my head, I can't remember because I had a handful of TV matches, and there's one of those TV matches where there was like the big oofed energy. If you've seen it, you've seen it, where there was a bit of a, they say it was a botch, but Elijah kind of, gave Punk a bit of a stiff move and whatever else. And Punk has publicly stated he didn't really like working with Elijah Burke, but apparently that was more due to his attitude and personality than his actual working style. From what they've said, it's all, he said, she said, I wasn't there. But there's a hidden gem, and I can't remember because they had two pay-per-view matches. They had Judgment Day 2007 and Unforgiven 2007. I went back and kind of clipped through the highlights before actually recording this episode. Again, what are words by the T-shirt. And I couldn't quite work out what it is. I'd probably have to go watch them both in their entirety to remember. But there was one of those which I remember just being, at the time when I watched it as a 12, 13-year-old kid when it happened, I got it on the DVD when it came out, a few months after the event. And just remember sitting there watching going, why is Elijah Burke having such a great match? Elijah Burke has no reason having such a great match. And obviously at that point, it was still real to me, damn it. So because Elijah was a heel, I didn't put any stock into his talent. And obviously went to TNA as D'Angelo Gennaro and showed that he's a phenomenal talent. But yeah, one of these CM Punk versus Elijah Burke matches on pay-per-view, I don't know if it's Judgment Day or Unforgiven, but one of those two was a hidden gem in my opinion. Matt Hardy versus Evan Bourne, Cyber Sunday 2008. Nothing really spectacular by any means, but it's a great babyface versus babyface match with a little handshake at the end. You've got the New Breed versus the ECW Originals in an Extreme Rules tag match 2 days after, or 3 days after WrestleMania 23. Obviously, they had the 8-man tag at WrestleMania where the Originals went over, RVD doing the famous frog splash where he turned in midair, and it was like, oh my god, how does a man do that? Da-da-da-da. Pretty quick match, all things considered, though. And then on TV, they well and truly made up for it, especially for a TV match. This was an absolute banger. And again, 12-year-old me was fuming, absolutely fuming that the New Breed beat the ECW Originals in their own match time. But, that's how it was booked, and that's the reaction they wanted. So kudos to you guys for pissing 12-year-old John off. But yeah, New Breed versus the ECW Originals Extreme Rules tag match on ECW TV. That's a banger as well. And then there's a cage match between Hardcore Holly. This is your daily reminder to say fuck Bob Holly. Anyway, Hardcore Holly versus Bobby Lashley in a cage match on TV, ECW TV in 2007. This is leading up to WrestleMania 23 and the Battle of the Billionaires. And if nothing else, this is just worth it just to see Bobby Lashley leaping through the cage, knocking the cage door down, sacrificing his ball, not even the cage door, knocking the cage wall down. And obviously, brother knowing about it, they've gigged it up so it'd break easily. But again, as a 12-year-old kid, seeing this man throw his entire body through the steel, it's a hell of an image. And even watching it back in hindsight, it's a hell of an image where he jumps through the cage wall and the cage wall collapses on top of Umaga, who's like at ringside. And it's just a crazy visual. It's some cinema type shit. But again, if I just had to pick just one match after all of that ranting for your question, Ace, for the WWE CW era, the WWE era of ECW, WWE ECW as people call it, that's why I called it that. I know that I have non-wrestling fans that occasionally listen, so I thought I better maybe just explain that one little tidbit. But yeah, but WWE era of ECW, WWE ECW, Christian versus William Regal, Breaking Point 2009. And although all these years later, I am still mad that this match wasn't a submission match, because the whole thing of this pay-per-view was, it was called Breaking Point because we had a Falls Count Anywhere submission match with Legacy versus DX. You had the I Quit match between John Cena and Randy Orton. You had the submission match between Undertaker and Punk, etc., etc. And at this point, it just showed that WWE no longer viewed ECW as a major title, because it was just like, hey, here's this match. But Christian and William Regal had a very old school chain technical type of match that definitely lived up to the name Breaking Point. Very, very good stuff here. And again, as I said, proof that if the initials had been anything different, this brand for sure would have succeeded. And I honestly say that the OG version of NXT, not the game show version, but when it became developmental and started to, it was obviously, it was still black and gold at the time, but it wasn't black and gold era, if that makes sense. But just around the time where they first started to do NXT Arrival and stuff like that, like, I feel like that's what ECW could have been if it had have been called literally anything else. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, Christian versus William Regal, Breaking Point 2009 is my favorite from the WWE era of ECW. And as a side note though, that silver championship that Christian had in this match, I will defend that championship to the death. That thing gets so much flack, so much hatred, and I'll say that if you think that that title is shit, and I'm looking at you, Mighty Kai, you need to reevaluate your decisions, because I'm all for everyone having differences of opinion, but you can't look at that championship and not tell me that it's beautiful. It just doesn't scream ECW, which is a fair gripe. But in terms of actual design, that is a beautiful championship design. But yeah, I will defend that ECW Silver Championship to the death, is the point that I was trying to make. But thank you for your question though, Ace, and I apologise for the rant to answer. But as I said, there's been a handful of ECW things that have actually been matches of the week here on the pod, so I just feel like I need to give these matches shout-outs, or honourable mentions, dare I say, before I give final answers. But yeah, OG ECW is probably that Guerrero-Malenko match where it went to the time limit before they left. If not that four-way dance that I mentioned with Douglas, Jericho, Pitbull, and Scorpio. And then, yeah, if I just had to pick one match from the WWE era, it's Christian versus Regal, Breaking Point 2009. Moving on, referee Thomas Smith, all the way from WA, has said, who is your favourite ECW superstar? I'm going to make it short, simple, to the point. Obviously, I've talked about a lot of these matches, and that's why I wanted to talk these matches, because I wanted to get shout-outs to wrestlers that I loved from ECW. But obviously, people in general know that I love, Steve Corino, Shane Douglas, Taz. Got to show some love to Tommy Dreamer and Raven as well. But if I have to pick just one ECW superstar, then I'm going to look at the original version of ECW, and I'm going to say one man, and that is Rob Van Dam, the whole effing show. But with that being said, now I'm going to jump in and I'm going to do this little watch along and see how we go. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's see how we go here. Just going to drag this across. Press play. I turned the TV down because I thought it was going to be too loud, and hang on.
South Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
The actual YouTube stuff was.
Where it all started. ECW.
Here we go. Apologies to if anyone actually ends up subscribing enough to the pod to see the video clips of this. Alrighty, Nunzio, tell me all about it. He's always going to be Little Guido to me, no matter what, guys. It's always Little Guido to me. Man, Little Guido versus Tony D'Angelo on the ECW Tribute Show. How good was that? Just trying to get comfortable here now. Still not happy with the camera positioning for those that actually watch this on the pod Patreon page, but my camera has fallen down 4 times and I've had to reposition it.
So tonight I hope each and every fan enjoys every moment of what we're going to give them. Because I know we're going to do everything we could to give them what they want. The reason why they're standing out there now and wrapped around this fence on the other side of this truck. So tonight, we're going to start the rebirth of ECW, and whether it's Little Guido and Nunzio and the full-blooded Italians, we're back, and we're going to put a show on that you're never, ever going to forget. My favorite streamers would have to be Rob Van.
Definitely feel, although he wasn't like screaming and shouting and over the top there, you definitely feel the emotion in Little Guido / Nunzio's voice when he was talking about that.
I know the ECW arena. It's been a while since I've been back, and it should be a hell of a show. I mean, you see a bunch of crazy fans over here.
They're showing fans, fans chopping each other. That's always fun. So I know that there's Rob Van Dam versus Kurt Angle in this, but I don't know if it shows the full match or not. Okay, they're showing the setup now inside.
I'm excited they're back here, but I don't think I'll feel the real excitement until I get inside.
Sir, you cannot say that. He said fucking for those playing at home. This guy's wearing an AC/DC shirt. You can't swear at WWE. Are they actually in the 2300 arena? Because I missed where they said they were.
Many times, and these are definitely the best fans in the world, and I still don't know what to expect tonight, but I'm looking forward to it.
I'm assuming if it's in Philly, it's the 2300 arena, but
Arena, the sports and entertainment arena, I guess, and I don't really know. I just know all the hot girls will be out there, so.
Kelly just said what arena they were in, but I didn't hear what she said. Rest in peace, Balls Mahoney. Is that C.W. Anderson? They really need nameplates on this, because I am blind. Doesn't help that, obviously, you guys can't see our TV, but I keep getting this little strip down the bottom, because it keeps getting too hot, but sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Unfortunately, trying to do a watch-along, and it's there. Paul Heyman doing a bunch of autographs. Probably wouldn't see him doing that these days with how busy he is, but this man is wearing a BWO shirt. He also looks like he's high as fuck. Just incredible. Just incredible kind of reminds me of Reese Razel, to be honest. Zooming in on all that moich. All that moich. Oh. I might have to steal Coyote's gimmick and get a hashtag Hoons thing going with the way people are coming up and down my street lately. Pretty sure the microphone just picked that up, actually. ECDub, ECDub, ECDub. It's like a little theater that they're in.
Right here, they call it the new Alhambra Arena. It's always still be the ECW Arena. I don't care what the sign.
Oh, so they are at the ECW arena.
Always here. I mean, it's always ECW to me. So.
So the 2300 arena, as they famously call it.
Gotta love it in Philadelphia. Perfect showing.
Oh, I got so many of them. I got Terry Funk Out of the Box, me and Dream were doing Blind Angle, me and Raven doing when he
Sandman.
stole my wife and my kid. Me and Sabu Stairway to
That was actually such a good fucking angle, though, where Raven, like, brainwashed Sandman's wife and kid. Big Show.
Coming over here, I was a little bit nervous because I heard all the horror stories of ECW and how violent everyone is and how everybody goes to the extreme and they don't know when to stop and your life life's in danger every night, and I worry to myself, I think, am I safe here? Am I safe? Yeah, I'm safe.
Big Show's in like full gimmick as a heel. He's been a cocky little prick to the ECW faithful. I love it. Heel Big Show is so underrated when he's allowed to have character. I can't even tell who's wrestling right now. Ah, it's the FBI. Okay. Is that Bull Buchanan? It literally looks like Bull Buchanan. Could be wrong. I'm sure if someone else watches this, they're going to correct me. So we got Little Guido, Nunzio, and I think that's Tony Mamaluke. Also kind of looks like Psychosis, but I think it's Mamaluke, because it makes sense if it's the FBI. Again, I'm legally blind, so this is not a fun time. Man, I hate that I have to keep adjusting the volume, and I apologize if the remote clicking is ooh. Went for the leg drop and landed on his ass. Ooh, double basement dropkick. I apologize if the remote clicking affects the microphone. I just replaced the batteries actually here at the compound, and I think because we were pressing so hard because it wasn't working that we've made it a little bit loose and wild. And ooh. Okay, so the FBI must be the baby faces in this match. I literally can't work out who that guy is, and I feel absolutely terrible and stupid because of it. Oh, they're chanting Tracy. Is that Tracy? Fuck, I can't even tell. Oh, big Vader bomb. Okay, no, so the FBI must be the heels. It must just be like cheating babyfaces trying to get revenge sort of thing. Ooh. It was like an inside-out bump, but it was a double down with the lariat. That was awkward, but cool. Oh, Little Guido counters with a tornado DDT. Sicilian slice leg drop. Can the FBI get the win? 1, 2, ooh. Broken up. Of course, rest in peace if that is Tracy Smothers. He passed away a few years ago. Fantastic talent. Ooh! Heart attack. Ooh, swanton to the outside. Tope con whatever the fuck. ECDub, ECDub. This is a big dude. He's on the second rope. Oh, now he's going to the top. Oh, shit. Oh, plunge it to the floor. Holy shit, indeed. Man, this is so dope. This is so dope. The cat. Ooh. Tornado DDT. Diving tornado DDT off the second. FBI pick up the win. Man, I don't know if obviously they've probably remastered it as well, but the camera quality for 2006 is ridiculously good. Okay, we got CM Punk versus, I think that's Stevie Richards. Can't quite see his face. Ooh. I'm pretty sure that's Stevie Richards, judging by the design on his trunks and that time frame. I'm just going to say it's Stevie Richards, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Kind of like how Stevie Richards was at WrestleMania 20. Stevie Richards won the 2004 Royal Rumble. Let's try and... Trying to adjust my camera here for the video version. For some reason it's going a lot darker than it was before. It's all trial and error here. When I get an actual tripod and I'm able to put it on the tripod properly, I'll get like the ring light and stuff as well. But for those just listening to the pod, ooh! Punk lands on his feet on the apron, slingshot. Ooh! Almost like he almost slingshotted into an Ushigoroshi. That was knee meet head. That's a concussion waiting to happen. A lot of room for error there. Oh, someone just chanted, "Let's go, Stevie." So there you go. It must be Stevie Richards. I apologize if my drinking is too loud, but I am parched as hell. My mouth got really dry during that intro bit. I say intro, it went for like 28 minutes once I'd answered the questions and everything, but yeah. Man, this is really cool, and I'm hoping that like if you're just listening to the audio, it's not boring. But that's why for the audio version, I answered the questions, because obviously the video version will be just the watch along portion, not the full thing. But whoop, looking for the Stevie T, whoop, Punk counted, and a kind of a, ooh, Stevie kick. Stevie has, next to Shelton Benjamin, Stevie has the most underrated super kick I've ever seen, legitimately. Ooh, Punk kicked out right on free, and the fans are actually kind of booing a little bit. So far, ooh, STO into the Anaconda Vice. Stevie taps out, the fans are cheering. There's a couple of people booing because they wanted Stevie to win, ECW original, that's fine, I get it. So far, the fans have been pretty good, though. Stevie's extending the hand. ECDub chants, "Will Punk shake the hand?" ECDub, ECDub. Hey! Obviously coming from Ring of Honor at that point, Punk willing to adhere to the Code of Honor almost. Man, someone's whistling and it's very high-pitched. I really hope that's not high-pitched in the microphone, because in my earphones that is fucking killing me. From CM Punk doing the Jimmy Snooker taunt in the middle of the ring, letting people know that he loves them. Balls Mahoney versus... Is that Snitsky? Or is it Mike Knox? Mike Knox probably makes more sense for that time frame, because Snitsky's rendition of ECW, who was bald in like 2008. I think it was Mike Knox. Well, they did have the TV feud, actually, when Kelly Kelly was Mike Knox's on-screen girlfriend, so that makes sense as well. So weird seeing Mike Knox without the big beard and like the almost bald head, looking like a biker. Fans are chanting, "We want New Jack." Ooh! Balls just kicked Mike Knox in the face for real. Oh! Head first into the... was that a receipt or what? Man, fucking Balls just head first into that chair. Ooh! Big superplex. Balls. Ooh, Balls. I like the way that they're like editing this to like kind of trim the matches down, but you're still getting to see everything while still getting a sense of the atmosphere. And oh my god, massive sit out spinebuster from Balls Mahoney. That was insane. You're still getting to see the selling and everything, which is the important part, while still getting to like, you know, get a abridged version of it. Oop, Balls gave Mike Knox a superplex before. So, Mike Knox returns the favor later on. Oop. Balls is taking the shirt off. What's he going to do here? Going to do a swanton, Jeff Hardy style. Jeff Hardy style. Oh, Balls has the chair. Referee's telling him not to use it. Fans are booing. Makes sense, it's ECDub. You can't disqualify someone in ECW. Oh, roll up. 1, 2, 3. Oh! Mike Knox steals the win because the referee wasn't letting ball. Man, it's amazing. Children, men, women, middle-aged, old-age people flipping off the ref, flipping off Mike Knox, because there's no disqualifications in ECW. It's kind of crazy because even here you're already seeing a slight, like, WWE influence. Sabu. Ooh, Sabu actually getting noticeable boos. Trying to see who Sabu's facing, but well, they're cheering along to the announcer with his intro, so I don't know. And they just did the Sabu. Now they're chanting Sabu, so I don't know. Maybe it's a case of I was saying Boo Earns, but there was noticeable people booing him when he came out, but I think it's C.W. Anderson that Sabu's facing. Where is Fonzie chants? Obviously Bill Alfonso notoriously managed Sabu and Rob Van Dam, and of course Taz as well. Chance for the original Sheik as Sabu locks on the camel clutch. I like that, like, Balls has the chair taken off him in the previous match, and in this match Sabu just lobs it like a fucking rocket, but because he threw it, he doesn't get disqualified. Make it make sense. It's the same referee too, it looks like. Sabu just did a step up on the chair over the top rope. Unless this was specifically ECW rules. It's hard to tell without context, but it's just so funny that, oh, Balls had the chair taken off him by the ref. And then in this match, Sabu just does trademark fucking, just Jordans the chair into the face of CW. Sabu was trying to set up a table across the guardrail, as he's well known for, but he got cut off there. CW setting a chair up, wedged in the corner, much like what happened to Balls Mahoney before, courtesy of Mike Knox. Ooh, Sabu, head and shoulder first. I guess if you're not actually swinging it, you can't be disqualified regardless, but there's a table set up in the ring, so... Ooh, Tornado DDT, diving Tornado DDT off the second, Sabu to CW. There's a table awkwardly set up in the corner. Oh, Sabu, CW... Oh, Arabian facebuster with the chair through the table. I say through, but table didn't even break. The legs kind of just collapsed and it fell down, but guess for all intents and purposes he broke the table. Oh, and CW taps out to the camel clutch. Shout out to the original Sheik. Not to be confused with the Iron Sheik, but still the Sheik nonetheless. Oh yeah, here comes the Sandman. I know it's not Enter Sandman, but I still say that Sandman's WWE edited theme song does absolutely slap. Still a great entrance, great vibe, great atmosphere. Exit light and quiet. Surely if I just sing it really, really badly, I can't be sued. Just pretend that it's playing in the background. You just close your eyes and pretend you can hear Metallica. Maybe I should Sandman myself with the water. Just bam, 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 bam. And again, unless you're watching this on Patreon, you're not going to see that. Obviously, won't spray the water everywhere like he does the beer because I don't want to ruin my equipment, but that's neither here nor there. Sandman versus... Is that Just Incredible that's in the ring? Kendo Stick versus Kendo Stick, Singapore Cane versus Singapore Cane. Oh, genuine shot to the fucking hamstring with the Kendo Stick. You can't fake that shit. Sandman is like the greatest high flyer that wasn't a high flyer, honestly. The way that he flies off the ropes with the swantons and the leg drops and shit like that, with just reckless abandonment. He's like the most athletic, least athletic guy I've ever seen, if that makes sense. Oh, I love Sandman. Oh, super kick by Just Incredible. Not quite as good as Stevie Richards, but still on the money. Fans chanting "Just an asshole." Just Incredible. Just Incredible. Ooh, unprotected Kendo Stick shot to the head. I'm sure Vince loved that. Russian leg sweep with the Kendo Stick gets the win for the Sandman. I think they were chanting, I couldn't tell if they were saying "Big Show sucks" or "This show sucks." Paul Heyman's in the ring, the fans are going nuts now, they're on their feet. I see what people mean, like, Jenny, welcome back. Like even for the Sandman, like they were kind of a lot quieter than I thought they would have been for the Sandman. Maybe they just burnt themselves out in the first couple of matches, I don't know. Or maybe these matches were just that bad, that's why they've clipped them and kind of made them bridge them. Paul Heyman embracing fans that used to, these old guys that used to sit front row back in the day. Wearing the same type of Hawaiian shirts that they wore, that's cool. They're chanting for him to shoot. Paul's smiling at the fact and letting them say that just show sucks. He knows that it's not ECW. But the thing is, like, it's not a bad show. It's just, it's not ECW even here. And it's very, very early into the resurgent. Paul Heyman forever a promo god. There's no doubt about that for a second. ECDub, ECDub. They're booing Paul Heyman now. Trying to turn it up so you guys can hear it better, and I can hear it a bit better, because obviously being a house show, the promos aren't as good, but basically, turn it back down. Thank you. I'll leave it on 14. Shouldn't cause too much feedback, hopefully. Hopefully shouldn't get sued for basically hearing this entire audio in its entirety, but I'm also talking over it, so, you know. And it's on YouTube, which is a public forum, so... Some dude was said, I don't know if he said this show still sucks or this still sucks. Oh, New Jack 2. Some guy said New Jack 2, and he said yes, and New Jack 2. I thought he said you suck too. I thought that was still like this show sucks in the middle of Paul's promo. I was like, this disrespectful motherfuckers. But no, I just misheard what the guy said. Oh, someone else did just yell out something though, and Paul's fucking... Oh no, someone did... Okay, I'm so confused now because he said, I realized he said New Jack, but then some guy did yell out. Maybe I've got psychic powers. Some guy's doing like the DX sign to Paul Heyman, some drunk guy. Just some WWE troll that's bought a ticket to troll ECW. Wrestling fans be like. Wrestling fans be like. I can't hear what they're chanting. I know they're chanting Tommy for Tommy Dreamer. Cool, 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 cool. That I can understand. ECDub. Okay, who's he talking about? Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer crying as Tommy Dreamer often does. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Not that there's anything wrong with that at all. Absolutely not. This is actually making me smile, like so genuinely. I mean, the fact that they've just uploaded this like in the last week. Like, this is 18 years old, like almost. That is nuts. Well, actually, it'll be 19 years old come June. Wow. And it's only just being unearthed after, might as well say, what is it, June, July, August, September, October, November. Yeah, so 18 and a half years ago this event took place as I'm recording this. 18 and a half years. and it's just been unearthed just this past week. Tommy's getting really, really emotional. I can't even understand what he's saying, and I'm getting emotional because I can feel the genuine emotion that is coming off of him. You know, just thanking the ECW fans and, you know, everything in between. Absolutely. Absolutely. ECF and dub. Oh, and that's even more true now in 2025, as I now record this on the 2nd of January 2025. So many fans, so many wrestlers no longer with us. Of course, Sweet Daddy Siki just passed away, and you know, NWA fame. You know, rest in peace to him. I think it was NWA. I know that he's in the old school territories anyway. He's one of the trainers of Edge and Christian. That I understood. He said, I may not have main evented WrestleMania, but I main evented the ECW Arena, and you can tell that he's genuine in saying that. ECDub, 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 ECDub. Oh, Tommy's calling out the Big Show. Tommy Dreamer's calling out the Big Show. Well, it's a Big Show. Oh. Will Big Show accept? Oh, there we go. Wow. It's a big bad show tonight. Come on, y'all, crank it up. Well, it's the Big Show. That's a big son of a bitch right there. Telling the lies. I feel like, honestly though, if you put this version of Big Show in the original ECW, he would have thrived. He would have been like Paul Heyman's pet project. Because at this point he was like still very agile, still very in shape, had a great attitude, great persona. The moveset was pretty strong, pretty decent. I know people don't look at the movesets, but it was a great moveset, it really was. That Cobra Clutch backbreaker, the choke slam, the final cut, even just the open hand chop. He made it such a simple thing seem so special. And, oh, the old nutski on the guardrail from Big Show. Right on cue. That's OG ECW stuff, brawling on the outside. Not something you traditionally see Big Show do, but in this environment here, he's adapting to the ECW style. See, now that's just lying. They're saying he can't wrestle. Obviously, the Big Show can very much wrestle. Big Show could probably out-wrestle Tommy Dreamer, size difference aside. ECDub, ECDub. Let's turn this back down just a tiny bit now. Because one, I don't want it to be too loud and distracting for you guys while I'm talking, but I also don't want it to be just too loud in general. And, whoop. Tommy, whoa! Tommy almost Irish whipped into the referee. Referee almost at the ring post. But Tommy Irish whipped into the barricade there, courtesy of the Big Show. Is this easy? Ooh! Big Show just slapped the hat off the guy with the Hawaiian shirt. The dude looks like he's genuinely pissed, which is great. You've been a fan for that long. But I get it. ECW fans are a different breed, man. Especially like OG ECW fans. And it's like, yeah, if you had a time machine, like, you go back and da-da-da. That's like, no, I'd probably just go back to an ECW show because I'm selfish and the experience would be amazing. Oh, got a crutch. Ooh. He just broke the crutch across Big Show's back. I don't know if that was gigged or if it's just because Big Show's back's so damn big. The trash can's already half dented, so either it happened in part of the match that they've cut out or they're just recycling props at this. Oh! Well, if it wasn't dented before, it just got dented over Big Show's head. I guess this was just, obviously, you know, not to bring it up, but this was pre Chris Benoit situation. Oh my god, Big Show just big booted that trash can. His foot almost went through the trash can into Tommy's head. Oh, Tommy low blows Big Show and hits a DDT. But this was pre the Chris Benoit situation, because obviously Chris Benoit went on to join ECW in 2007 before the situation, but headshots aplenty. Oh, big choke slam through the table. Obviously, I'm sure that's going to be it. 2, 3. Oh. Few people clapping because they got to see the table break, but general consensus is they're booing Big Show because Tommy's their boy. Understandable. Wrestling. And I think, honestly, this version of the Big Show would have thrived in the OG ECW days for sure. 100%, I have no doubt of that. This is so cool, man. I've said it so many times and I don't want to overstate it. It's hot as balls in this room. I had to turn the bloody aircon off when we record pods. Usually it doesn't pick up the aircon as much, but for some reason the camera was, even though it's the same microphone and settings and stuff, but this camera somehow more sensitive to the sound than the... And saying that the pod programs are kind of more built to filter out sound, so it does make sense, but it's hot as balls in this room and I'm sweating like a motherfucker, but I'm doing this for you guys. ECDub, ECDub. It's crazy to think that at this point it looked like Tommy was going to be retiring, and now he's retired like 2 or 3 times since then, and he's still going now today. I think he's just trying to be Terry Funk with the amount of retirements that he's had. Alrighty, here comes Kurt Angle. I do love this ECW remix of his theme, the extended version. And now I'm assuming this may have been like a bit of a longer show, but yeah, now that he's doing his pose in the ring, they're cheering, but I'm seeing what people are meaning now, like, considering, like, you know, they were just chanting, like, hardcore for Tommy and da-da-da-da. Angle's getting a very lackluster reaction, and it's Kurt fucking Angle, and although he's not a traditional ECW guy, the way that they were doing the wrestling machine with the more aggressive stuff, on TV at least, and maybe they were piping the boos and cheers respectively in for Angle, but on TV at least, it looked like Kurt Angle's ECW run was going swimmingly with the fans. Especially at ECW One Night Stand 06, he was over as fuck in that match of Randy Orton. Yeah, even RVD, he's getting a pop, but it's, bro, man, what is happening? Because like full disclosure, I've seen like a small little 2-minute clip showing a little bit here and there from this match, and you couldn't really hear the fans in that match, and people were saying that the fans were dead and da da da, and I thought, oh, maybe it's just that particular angle, but yeah, like, yeah, there's people in front row and like they're high-fiving him and stuff, and he is getting cheers, but compared to a Philadelphia crowd you're used to, man, they're reacting, and they're reacting positively, obviously, you know, like, especially if at this point, you know, they're tired and worn out, but yeah, there's a lot of people who would just kind of stand there like, yeah, cool, that's Rob Van Dam, that's cool. Like, just nodding their head like, fucking jump up and down. It's Mr. Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. Mr. Every night. Mr. Whole damn show. A whole effing show. Your WWE and ECW dual champion at this point after cashing in on John Cena at One Night Stand. Oh, he's not going to do the thing. Spinning the title. He hasn't done the thing yet. Or is he waiting for the announcer to say his name again? Oh, there we go. Damn. They didn't even have the camera on him while he was doing it. They panned to him just as he was finishing doing it. ECW's own Olympic gold medalist. A little bit of pandering. Get some cheers. That kid's just staring dead ahead. ECW World Heavyweight Champion Rob Van Dam. When I see that look in your eyes, makes you believe I'm one of a kind. One of a kind. Alright, RVD versus Kurt Angle, let's go. Alright, there's about 11-ish minutes left on this video here, so hopefully most of that will be this match. These guys certainly, you know, they by any stretch they haven't, you know, had a notorious feud or anything, but still no strangers to each other. Oh, quick pinning attempt by RVD with the very educated feet, as Jim Ross would say. Oh no, we've already cut. Now they're brawling on ringside, brawling into the fans. Some RVD chants trying to get up. Ooh. Unfortunately, because it was such an intimate show, we all heard that spot call by Kurt Angle, but it is what it is. Alrighty. Van Dam putting Angle on that barricade. He's going to do that patented leg drop. Rob Van Dam. Boom. Corkscrew leg drop. Vintage Rob Van Dam, as Michael Cole would say. Vintage. If you said that in an ECW setting, the fucking ECW hipsters would get so salty. Ooh! Some sort of suplex to Rob Van Dam from Angle on the floor, but the camera cut so you couldn't quite see what it was, but... Ooh, belly to belly in the ring now. It was either a belly to belly or a German that Rob took on the floor. And then they cut back to in the ring where he hits another belly to belly, so... There's a few people chanting sucks after RVD. Are they Kurt Angle fans, or are they just traditional WWE fans trying to shit on ECW? Who knows? Porque no los dos. Oh, there's the educated feet of Van Dam again. And another one. Can we kick it? Yes, we can. Ooh, springboard butt kick. 3 kicks in a row. Once again, they're chanting, "We want Fonzie," much like they... Ooh! Split leg moonsault. 1, 2, and a kick out. Fans chanting, "We want Fonzie." we want Fonzie, much like they were in the Sabu matchup. Van Dam top rope. Ooh, a diving Savate kick. And this is where you'd think Kurt Angle would want to slap on that ankle lock and, you know, try and nullify some of those. Robin M. Ooh, Robin M swung a chair, missed. Ooh, released German. Flipped RVD inside out. Angle slam, counter, no, what's going on here? Ooh, yep, DDT. A counter to the counter to the counter. Van Dam's got that chair. Angle in the corner. Rolling. Oh, monkey flip. Angle went over the chair, missed the chair, and the fans are booing like crazy. Ooh. Skateboards the chair version of the Van Daminator there. Trying to suplex Angle on the chair. Angle holding on. And one of you trading suplexes of Kurt Angle. Back and forth, back and forth. Oh! Kurt Angle with the gourd buster to RVD onto the chair. Okay, getting some reaction now. The fans are slowly coming back alive. They're just bloodthirsty. They just want to see senseless violence at this point. Ooh, Angle slam. 1, 2, and no! 2 and 9. Whoop. Mixture of people booing, mixture of people cheering. Whoop. Drop toe hold. Angle face first into the buckle. Oh, perfect position. Could it be? Rolling Thunder connects. Ooh, Van Dam ricocheted off that bottom rope. Too close to the ropes. Still landed flush on Angle though. Looking for the 5-star frog splash. Whoop. Angle runs to the top rope. Belly to belly off the top. It's a trademark Kurt Angle spot, that. Seen him hit that many times. 2 3/4. Almost the new champion there. Oh, here we go. Angle with the ankle lock now. Finally. And the left leg of Van Dam trying to ruin the base for those kicks. Van Dam trying to get to the ropes. It always made it so weird to me though, like in ECW rules, rope breaks, even for submissions were counted, but you could smack a dude in the head with a chair. Oh! Case in point, what a way to counter the ankle lock. Oh! Van Daminator! Angle swung, missed, hit himself in the head with the chair as it ricocheted off the ropes, and then he still had it in his hand. RVD hit the Van Daminator. Oh, 5-star frog splash off the top. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. That honestly, for a house show type matchup, you know, considering they clipped some of it out, what you did kind of see, it looked like Kurt and Rob told a very good story, but, you know, while people are cheering, they do seem, for all, Van Dam, for all intents and purposes, they do kind of seem like they're sitting on their hands for this matchup. It's weird. Really weird. One of a kind. Hey, 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 one of a kind. Hey, hey, one of a kind. Fear I'll leave in the back of your mind. Makes you believe. Fear I see in the back of your mind. Makes you believe Makes you believe. Fear makes you believe, makes you believe. The fear I see when I look in your eyes makes you believe I'm one of a kind. Fear I leave in the back of your mind makes you believe I'm. Makes you believe I'm one of a kind. Leave in the back of your mind makes you believe, makes you believe. Hey, 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 one of a kind. Hey, 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 one of a kind. Hey, 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 one of a kind. Hey, hey, one of a kind. Hey. I love that you can tell it's like the shortened WWE edit because it just restarted at a really, really awkward spot. See, everyone that's like front row is like high-fiving Rob and they're like, hell yeah, like, you got it, Rob, da-da-da-da. But there's so many people there that are just kind of like, I'm just so happy to be here. And obviously, like, everyone, like, enjoys things on a different level. Like, they could just be, you know, awestruck or whatever, but I feel like there's an energy that's missing. That little kid reached over and spun the title, and it looked like Rob actually got a little bit pissed off, which is funny because he's a babyface. Belvedere back in the crowd. Oh, he's back in the ring because he's bowing to the crowd. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Okay. Oh, they're asking for a speech, so I'll turn it up a little bit. Hopefully we can hear what he's saying. Huh. I got something to say to you. It's a lot of language, Rob. Think of all the children that are front row. That guy looks like he's so disinterested in bed, and they just zoomed in on a guy, and he's just got his arms folded, and he has like the most smug look on his face. One of a kind. Goddamn hoons in the background. How much kilometers is 400 miles? Hey Google. How many kilometers is 400 miles?
400 miles is equal to 643.738 kilometers.
Okay, look, that's a pretty solid effort. I'm going to end the video portion just here with a little click of the button. Boom. But wow, that was honestly, I really did enjoy that. The way that they managed to clip all of that into just under an hour. I'm blown away by how well they they managed to make that flow in all honesty. But that genuinely was something. That genuinely was something. Yeah, I see what people mean when they said that towards the main event people were sitting on their hands, but again, there's a lot of stuff that was very WWE-esque, even just on the surface level, just from an outside looking in, even with the way it was editing, you could tell. The way it was edited, you could tell that was the case, but yeah, I got nothing bad to say about it as an overall show, but man, I said KO, what the hell? Kurt Angle, K.A., Kurt Angle versus RVD, too many letters. Kurt Angle versus RVD, solid banger of a matchup. Honestly, I would have loved to have been live for that match, whether it's WWE style or ECW style. I think they did a great job of mixing it up, and okay, yeah, there was that little botch, if you want to call it that, where Kurt missed the chair on the monkey flip, but I don't think it was worth booing or, being salty about or anything like that, but I guess, the old expression is it's different strokes for different folks. It's what people always say, it's the flavors of ice cream. I'm sorry if my sound's dipping a little bit just in that last sentence. I was moving a bit just because I've been sitting for too long. It's the flavors of ice cream adage that, people use quite often, but, oh, botch, boo, you missed the chair. Like, yeah, okay, I get it. We're bloodthirsty. We're hungry for blood. We want to see violence. We crave violence. But I love ECW as much as the next guy. But, man, ECW fans at its core, the hardcore, so it's great to be passionate about something, don't get me wrong, but the hardcore ECW fans seem to be some of the worst wrestling fans that I've seen, honestly, with how critical they are with judging things. But that's neither here nor there. That's another rant for another day. But I actually really enjoyed that. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to this. I hope you guys possibly watched the video version. I will say now that I am changing the Patreon tiers so that instead of being $20 up, it's $15 and up. You'll get video access, and then $20 and up will just be the added perk of you get a shout out in the intro and outro and yada, yada, yada. So making an executive decision that it's going to be $15 and up. We'll get these watch-along footages, especially with the Rumble coming up. And obviously, you're going to hear this bit in just the regular podcast. But yeah, $15 Australian and up. So that's the real main event tier. We're going to add the video, the video content, I guess, for lack of a better term, to that tier as well. Because, I get it, some of you don't want to pay $20 just to look at my head, and that's fair enough, that's understandable, but at the same time, brother's got to hustle, and in terms of Nova Lee, even though she's not on this episode, sister's got to hustle, we got to hustle, but no, we're going to be adding that, the $15 tier and up. From now on, we'll be getting video exclusive content. Obviously, this will be the first video exclusive content. I was going to originally do the whole episode, but with the stopping and starting and the changing and chopping that I got to do to get the dead spots out here and there in between starting and stopping the playback, it's very fidgety. With the Rumble, we could do it because we're watching the whole show, but I don't want to do a watch along for the whole 3 to 4 hours. I mean, I did that for SummerSlam in, I think it was 2022, and even that was tedious for Twitch, but yeah, $15 and up now on the Patreon will get video access. And with that being said, look at all the links, both in my Linktree and Nova's Linktree. Her Linktree will still be in the description, even though it's not there. You can find all of the podcast socials, obviously our respective personal socials in there as well. But on mine, it has all Nova's as well. Nova has that Patreon as well. But on mine, you've got the Pro Wrestling Tees, the Amazon wish list, the GoFundMe. I think Nova may have the GoFundMe in hers. I'm not quite sure off the top of my head. But yeah, the Patreon is definitely a big one. And as I've said, and I'm going to plug it just one more time, the Alphabet Smackdown Call of the Wild, $10 Australian, $6 and up. So that's tier 2 and up. We'll get access to the audiobook exclusively before I end up dropping it on Amazon and all of that stuff. I want to drop it on my platform first, just for my own peace of mind. And it sounds so fucking like, what's the word? Like pompous, I guess. But it sounds like so pompous, but up myself. But I want to kind of reward the people that have followed the journey first and make sure that they definitely get what they're paying for and getting what they've followed this journey for, if that makes sense, because there's been so many of you that have helped me and supported me and pushed me, and just, the risk of sounding like a crack record and getting all sentimental, but no, I just really appreciate you guys that have showed me support so far. Shout out to the people that have actually paid for it. Obviously, as I said, the handful of people did get it for free just because I felt they deserved it with the help that they've given me, both with the book and other stuff in life. But yeah, and the song of the week this week was Pearl Jam's Even Flow by Pearl Jam. Obviously, as I said it in the intro, it was Raven's theme song. It's also very topical with the Stephen Flow independent wrestler that's going viral now. Everyone's saying they want Stephen Flow versus Joe Hendry, and all I'm saying is, hey, WrestleMania's 2 nights now. All these WWE talents are working indie shows. What if, in a crazy wacko world for one night only, an independent wrestler wrestles at WrestleMania, Stephen Flow versus Joe Hendry? That's all I'm saying. Make it happen, someone. But the song of the week, Even Flow by Pearl Jam, and your match of the week was the man that we just saw, or possibly listened to if you're just listening to this. I mean, you could always watch the show along with me as some sort of alternate commentary, but Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn, Hardcore Heaven, 1999, for the ECW World Television Championship. I almost said World Championship just because we saw him defending the ECW Heavyweight Championship against Kurt Angle just moments ago. But yeah, Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn, ECW TV title, Hardcore Heaven 1999 is your match of the week. And speaking of ticket links, MXW WrestleFest 2, February 28th / March 1st in Victoria. Huge 2-night event in Geelong. Got the Brian Kendrick, or just Brian Kendrick, on the card. The guys and girls will learn a lot from him, no doubt. Link is in the description below. Extreme Capital Wrestling, also on March 1st. Technically in New South Wales. I said ACT last week. Technically in New South Wales because it's in Queanbeyan, but it is basically right on the border. So if you're in New South Wales, ACT, and surrounds, and you don't feel like going all the way to Victoria from MXW, buy a ticket to ECW Hard Day's Fight at Queanbeyan Tigers Club. There will be limited tickets. I have had a sneaky peek, courtesy of the powers that be, at the ticket map, and the setup, if we can make it come to fruition, looks impeccable, looks immaculate. As of recording, I believe tickets are going to be on sale this weekend. So hopefully the link should actually be in the description this week, but if not, follow Extreme Capital Wrestling because they will be on sale early New Year regardless. And as I record this, it's Wednesday the 2nd of January. This is going to drop on Patreon, Thursday the 3rd. So by the time this drops on Sunday the whatever the hell that is, Sunday the 5th, quick math, by the time this drops on Sunday the 5th, hopefully tickets will be on sale. But if not, keep a very close eye out because they're definitely coming very, very soon. Anyway, moving on. Actually in the ACT, Belconnen Community Theatre, Insane Asylum, that's the name of the show. Completely ruined my segue, but I'm going to leave it in because this is one take. Insane Championship Wrestling presents Insane Asylum 24. There we go. Nailed it. All tickets, I repeat, all tickets, just $10. And I believe if you do it online, it is like a $1 booking fee or something per ticket or whatever it is, which, it is what it is. But $10 tickets. And if you were at the last show, if you were at Clash in the Capital, they did give out vouchers for one half-price ticket. So that's just a $5 ticket for tickets at the door. And I do happen to have, I don't know how it ended up in my wrestling bag. I genuinely don't. I think when I was cleaning rubbish and stuff, I put it down and, I guess someone had thrown it away, which makes me sad because why would you throw away a $5 coupon? But I have a voucher to a $5 ticket. So if you're nice to me and you're in the area, I might slide you that voucher for a $5 ticket. That's all I'm saying. Pay for it out the door. You pass it over for one ticket. If you say there's like a group of, 10 people, only one person in that group can cash in the $5 thing. You can't all do it. It's one per group. But I have one of those. And I believe Nova also has one. So maybe 2 people, if they're nice, could get 2 $5 tickets. Or, well, one would be 1 each. But you know what I'm saying, because you can't be in the same... You'd have to walk through the door separately and act like you're not together. ICW, if you listen to this, pretend I didn't say that. But no, myself and Nova do have some laying around. I believe there's 2. I have one. I think Nova has another one. Don't quote me on that, but there's at least one. It's literally sitting right next to me. Obviously, this isn't in the video portion, so I can't show you. But yeah, $10 tickets online. If you're at the last show, there was vouchers for half-price tickets, which is only $5 for one of the biggest shows of the year. It's kind of tied now between InsaneAsylum and Clash. Start the year with one of the big shows, end the year with the other big show, yada, yada, yada. But the links for that will be below, is my point, is the plugs. Click on that. And then we fast forward all the way to November 1st, 2025, Saturday, November 1st. I'm going to be traveling on Halloween. Hopefully Nova and I can watch a scary movie in the hotel the night before at least. But anyway, November 1st, the 3rd Emma Butler Memorial Show. Tickets are on sale, ICW Central West. I've spoken and time again how much these shows mean to me and why they mean so much to me. I do still have a nice chunk of Radiation Kick shirts here at the compound. $30 each or $40 postage. Obviously, the more you buy, the less it's going to cost for postage. Obviously, if you buy 2 shirts, I'm still just going to charge $10. If you buy, like, say, 4 or 5 shirts, it might be $20 rather than $10 per shirt, if you get what I'm feeling. Obviously, if you buy the entire lot of them, it's going to be very heavy, so it's probably going to be $30 or $40. But there's a good chunk of shirts there left. I think I sold 9 or 10, which isn't too bad, but yeah, I've got about 13, 14, maybe 15 shirts left. And yeah, limited sizes. I've still got some decent sizes. I've got a lot of XLs left and larges. My shirt is an XL and it swims on me, and I've got a big belly and broad shoulders, so they're pretty well endowed in terms of giggity. That's what she said. Pretty well endowed in terms of sizing. So hit me up if you're interested. But yeah, if not, whatever I've got left, I'll just drudge to Cara with me at the end of the year and hopefully raise some more money for Emma's cause. But yeah, click all of those links. Support me on Patreon. Yada, yada, yada. Only $15. Repeat, I am reducing the video footage from the $20 tier to the $15 tier. And then the $20 tier, you'll get the shout out, and maybe Nova and I will have to talk about things that we can add to the $20 tier, possibly maybe some giveaways or something in the future that may be exclusive to that tier. We'll have to work out the logistics of that, but because I'm trying to sell a bunch of wrestling merch myself, like WWE stuff and DVDs and shirts, just because 1, medical bills, 2, I'm trying to declutter. So hey, maybe some of that, if we get enough, subs and stuff, we can get rid of and clear out in like a makeshift like raffle draw type of thing. But yeah, hit me up for all of that. I did just disable 7 designs off the Pro Wrestling Tee store, but I'm working on trying to create a separate store for the pod. It's just a matter of working out logistics and if it's going to be pricing and stuff like that, just because I want to tidy up the Crossfire store and add some new stuff, but also just not have too much. Like, there's a few new designs I've got in mind, but I don't want to just overclutter it, because I had the adage of I wanted something for everyone, and then at some point it just became there was too much to pick from, if you get what I'm saying. But yeah, buy a What Are Words t-shirt, buy a Radiation Kick t-shirt from me. It is on Pro Wrestling Tees as well, but obviously it'd be a lot cheaper if you hit it up from me in Australia, etc., etc. Obviously, if you need a bigger size or a smaller size, Pro Wrestling Tees is there. But yeah, just hit me up. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Let me know what you thought of this show if you watched it. But as always, I am the Essential John L. Crossfire. ECDub. Titty sprinkles. Shugga lugga lugga. You guys were just caught in conversation.